Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and on this video I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news, keep you up to date of what players are linked with Manchester United. So I am going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Jadon Sancho, because I have been keep you up to date of what's been going on with Jadon Sancho on a regular basis. Obviously, it has been revealed he is one of our priority targets for the summer transfer window. Also going to be talking with you about Patrick-Emerick Aubameyang. I haven't mentioned Aubameyang, haven't I? For quite a few weeks. Manchester United have reportedly made an approach for the player. And I think I'm also going to talk with you a bit more about Harry Kane. And I'm also, going to go through with you of what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has changed at Manchester United. So let's start with Jadon Sancho. So I was reading reports yesterday, and this was, I think, stemming from the Daily Express, and it says that Jadon Sancho will only sign for Manchester United on one condition, and that's if we get qualification for the Champions League for next season. Because in a way it's reiterating what he said the other week, because it said Jadon Sancho is likely to reject a move to Manchester United if we fail to qualify for the Champions League. Now, don't forget we was relentlessly linked with Jadon Sancho last year, but the main explanation why we didn't get him is because we had no Champions League football to offer, and plus there has been quite a lot of uncertainty regarding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future at the football club. And that. So this is, what it has said. Now, Jadon Sancho has revealed that he wants to come to Manchester United. And one of the main explanations why he wants to come to Manchester United is because obviously, he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. And even Marcus Rashford did reveal that he wants Jadon Sancho at Manchester United next season, because I think Jadon Sancho would go well alongside the likes of Rashford and Anthony Martial in our attacking line. Obviously, if Jadon Sancho is to come in, do you think Daniel James is going to find game time very, very difficult? I was hearing, reports saying that, Daniel James could be loaned out, if Jadon Sancho is to come in. But I think James Cooper, who's a Sky Sports reporter, he's confirmed that Daniel James will not be loaned out. That has been confirmed in that. But yeah, he'll go well alongside Rashford and Martial in our attacking line. And like I said, I think Rashford was one of our best players earlier on in the season. Rashford has been out with a back injury for quite some time. He's been out with a back injury. He's been out with this back injury since our win against Wolves in the FA Cup. Of course, Solskjaer did make the wrong decision by playing Rashford in that game against Wolves. But, Rashford has sustained quite a few injuries during his Manchester United career. And up until this point, Rashford has spent the entirety of his career with the football club. Obviously, he's been a United player since the age of 7. He's been in our senior squad since 2016 as Rashford. And I think he's got 19 goals in 31 games this season. And he's got over 60-odd senior goals in just over 200-odd appearances as the player. But since he broke in our senior squad back in 2016, he has become an integral part of our team. Rashford can play in the number 9, and you can also play him out wide. I think Solskjaer said early on in the season that he prefers Rashford out wide, to be quite honest with you. And he is only at the age of 22. I don't know from now if he's going to spend the entirety of his career with the club, but obviously up until this point, he has done. So that's very, very good that he showed loyalty, Marcus Rashford. I think there has been a few talks of him about him leaving in the past, definitely. Also too, Anthony Martial, like I said, obviously, before the football season that got suspended, I thought, he really rejuvenated himself. Martial's got like 16 or is it 17 goals this season for the football club. Obviously, this season, Anthony Martial has been playing in that number 9 role, so he's been playing centrally. I just think, we need to find Anthony Martial a permanent position because, yeah, like I said, he's been playing in the number 9 role this season, but obviously he predominantly plays out wide on the left, does Anthony Martial. Now, Martial is into his 5th season at the football club. He's into his 5th season at the football club. I think one of the best seasons Anthony Martial endured was his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. We paid £36 million for Martial, potentially rising up to 57 or 58 million based on goals and achievements. And we got Martial at the age of 19 and he's now 24 years of age. So what would you do? Keep Martial in number 9 or would you put him back out wide? We've also got Greenwood, don't forget, who can also operate as a number 9. You can also put Greenwood on the right-hand side. Greenwood is one of the players that I think, is the long-term future for Manchester United. And I think within the next year or two, he will be on Rashford's level or probably, will end up overtaking Marcus Rashford, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, we do need another attacking player. And like I said, I think Jadon Sancho will go well alongside them players. I was also reading another report yesterday, and this is also a lot of positivity. This was stemming from this La Liga expert, I can't pronounce his name, but he's reportedly said that Real Madrid have dropped their interest in Jadon Sancho because, don't forget, also too, Real Madrid have been interested in him. Reportedly, Real Madrid, would prefer to sign Kylian Mbappe from PSG instead. So they'd rather get Kylian Mbappe than get Jadon Sancho on the board. Now, obviously, Chelsea have been in for Jadon Sancho, and he could be still a slight chance, that Chelsea, could sign Jadon Sancho. Because obviously, let's take into account Jadon Sancho began his career in London because, don't forget, he was at Watford for several years, was Jadon Sancho. So that's another beneficial thing about, us recommending him in is that, he's well proven in the Premier League. When he left Watford, of course, he endured 2 years with Man City. So he's played in Manchester before as well. The main explanation why I left Manchester City is because he didn't get any first team opportunities at Manchester City. So this is why I left City for Borussia Dortmund. Now, obviously, Jadon Sancho has endured quite a few years with Borussia Dortmund. This is his 3rd season now with Borussia Dortmund. He was dropped in quite a lot of games earlier on in the season, but I still think he's done very, very well. Dortmund, of course, have quoted out that they want at least £100 million for Jadon Sancho. If we get him, we'll either pay £100 million or we'll pay £120 million. But either figure is going to make him a record signing in the Premier League. It's going to make him our most expensive signing, and it's going to make him the most expensive British player in history. As far as I know, I think, we're only the club that are willing to meet, Borussia Dortmund's asking price. But yeah. But we have been working on Jadon Sancho's contract for quite a few months now, and that was stemming from Fabrizio Romano quite a few weeks ago. We're also willing to offer Jadon Sancho the iconic number 7 because, like I've mentioned, we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. There again, our recent number 7s haven't been too good. And it said we was willing to offer Jadon Sancho a substantial contract. It says we was willing to offer him around £400,000 a week, which would also make him the best player with the club. So some reports have been saying, like, recently, that he's move to Manchester United's been confirmed, but there's been no official agreement as yet. There's been no official agreement, meaning there hasn't been a full-on announcement. So really, it's reiterating what it said quite a few weeks ago, because it was stemming from the Irish Independent quite a few weeks ago now, saying, that it's unofficially confirmed that Sancho will complete a transfer to Manchester United when the transfer window does reopen. He is expected to leave Borussia Dortmund at the end of the season. Sky in Germany confirmed that back in February. Now, Borussia Dortmund have come to accept the fact that Jadon Sancho wants to move on, so they're obviously going to go into the market to try and get an adequate replacement for him. Obviously, Ferran Torres from Valencia has been on their agenda. Don't forget, it recently said we were battling Dortmund for Ferran Torres because we're seeing him as an alternative to Sancho. Don't forget, Bellingham's also on their agenda to replace Jadon Sancho. But but Jadon Sancho is predominantly a right winger, and don't forget, Manchester United are in search for a right winner. We're in search for a right winner, and he's only the age of 20, is Jadon Sancho, so he is very, very young. And he's got around, is it 2 years remaining on his contract with Dortmund. He's under contract with them until 2022. Dortmund will make a huge profit on the player because, they only paid around £7 or £8 million for him from Man City. But, we will see what happens anyway. But I'm very, very convinced that we can get qualification for the Champions League. But yeah, Jadon Sancho does want to make a move to Old Trafford, definitely in that. So that's the latest news on him. Now, let's delve into the news on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, then I'll talk with you a bit about Harry Kane. So, reportedly, Manchester United have approached Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So, we have inquired about his availability. Now, we have been in for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang before. Now, these reports emerging out saying that Aubameyang is expected to leave Arsenal at the end of the season. I think Arsenal have tried to convince him to remain loyal to them and sign a new long-term contract with them. But obviously, this hasn't happened. Now, obviously, Arsenal would want to cash in for him this summer rather than letting go on a free transfer in the summer of 2021, which is, of course, next year. Arsenal, do value Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang at around £50 million. But reports emerged out the other week saying that Arsenal had lowered their asking price. They'd lowered their asking price by around £15 million. So it did say, Arsenal would accept around £35 million for the player. And obviously, the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona have also been in for Aubameyang. Actually, Barcelona have been long admirers of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I think it said PSG have also been in for him. So there's quite a few clubs that have expressed their interest in Aubameyang, but I can't see him coming to Manchester United, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. I don't think he'll continue applying his trade in the Premier League if he leaves Arsenal. But yeah, I do like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang a lot. He's predominantly a central striker, but you can also play him out wide. Like I said, his movement's very, very good. His finishing's very, very good. He's very effective in the air. He can hold up the play very, very well. And got to say, Aubameyang is one of Arsenal's best players. He's one of Arsenal's best players. Now, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been at Arsenal over 2 years. Of course, Arsenal did pay around, £56 million for him from Borussia Dortmund back in January 2018. So he is one of Arsenal's most expensive signings. But I think he's done very, very well since he's come into the Premier League, to be fair. I think he's got 49 goals in 75 Premier League appearances. He's got 61 goals in 97 appearances in all competitions at Arsenal as Aubameyang. But yeah, he did enjoy 5 good years with Borussia Dortmund. He's also a former St Etienne and Monaco player. Also played for Lille. I think he actually, began his career with Milan. And obviously, I think Arsenal have come to accept the fact that Aubameyang wants to leave. So, they want to obviously, find an adequate replacement for him. He is the age of 30, he's Aubameyang, so he is aging up. But I think he'd be a great addition to the squad, if he was to come to Manchester United, because, we are actually, in search for an adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku, because obviously, Lukaku left last summer and we failed to replace him. Obviously, Herrera left last summer, we also failed to replace him. So would you take Aubameyang at Manchester United? And he's a cheap solution, let's be honest. Much cheaper solution than Harry Kane. And don't forget, we've done business with Arsenal in the past. Don't forget, we got Alexis Sanchez from them back in January 2018 as part of a swap deal of Mkhitaryan going to Arsenal. We also got, Robin van Persie from them back in 2012. You can say reflect on the amount of goals he scored back in 2013, Alex Ferguson's last season. You can say he won us a title, did Robin van Persie. And that's so he enjoyed one good season at Manchester United, did Van Persie. So if we did actually sign Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, then, we'd hope he would become the next Robin van Persie. I think Arsenal did get Danny Welbeck from us, was it back in 2015? But I think we have made contact over the possibility of signing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and that. So that is the latest news on him. Now, I'm going to talk with you a bit more about Harry Kane. So I can definitely say that Harry Kane to Manchester United is on. I'm not going to fully disregard it. Now, I think, Solskjaer and also to Ed Woodward have revealed that they're, admirers of Harry Kane. Now, put into the equation, we've been relentlessly linked with Harry Kane. I think we've been in for him I think we've been in for him in the last 5 years or so. I think we've expressed our interest in Harry Kane since the Louis van Gaal era. That's when we first expressed our interest under the Louis van Gaal era. Now, I did say to you the other day, didn't I? I'm not going to fully disregard it, but I'm very sceptical that Manchester United will sign Harry Kane. And the main explanation for that is because I'm just very sceptical, that we'll pay £200 million for Kane. Now, of course, Tottenham do remain ruthless over their valuation. Now, Harry Kane has been offered to Manchester United. Daniel Levy, who's the Tottenham chairman, and like I've said before, he is a hard negotiator when it comes to recruiting players from Tottenham, and he is a very, very good businessman. But Daniel Levy said he has agreed that Tottenham will let Harry Kane leave on one condition, and that's providing that their asking price is met. And Tottenham want a world record fee of £200 million. That £200 million figure, if we was to pay it, and that it'd make him the joint most expensive player in the world, because the most expensive player in the world at the moment is Neymar, who PSG paid £200 million for from Barcelona. Was it back in 2017 or 2018, if I can remember rightly? But obviously, the reports that have been coming out regarding Kane recently have actually, a contrast to the ones that were coming out the other week, because it said the other week that, Daniel Levy has got no intentions of selling Harry Kane. That's what it said. But there again, Sky Sports said recently, Tottenham have got no intentions of selling Harry Kane to Man United or any other Premier League rival. But I just don't think, I don't think we'll pay £200 million for Kane. I know that we're known for overpaying for players, especially in recent years. Like I mentioned, we paid £89 million for Paul Pogba. We paid £75 million for Lukaku when we got him. We paid £50 million for Fred, £40 million for Nemanja Matic, £80 million for Harry Maguire. And we've actually been criticised, for us for overpaying for players in, recent years and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we paid £200 million for him. But yeah, so basically, Tottenham are looking to ease their financial worries, aren't they? That's what they're doing. Because take into account, Tottenham are still paying for their £1 billion stadium. I think they owe around 630 odd million on the stadium loan and around 83 million on transfer fees. So looking to ease their financial worries. Harry Kane, did make the admission last month, and it fueled a lot of speculation saying that, he could decide to leave Tottenham if they fail to match his ambition, and Harry Kane has revealed his ambition, and his ambition is to win silverware, and so far, he's not experienced any of this at Tottenham, and he has been at Tottenham for several years, and he's been in their senior squad since 2011 as Harry Kane. And since then, he's scored 181 goals in all competitions. So he's actually Tottenham's third highest goal scorer in their history. But he did say, Harry Kane, he will not stay at Tottenham for the sake of it. He is injury prone, he's Kane, don't forget. He's sustained a few injuries during his Tottenham career. He has been out of a hamstring injury since New Year's Day. He's still under contract with Tottenham until 2024. So he's got 4 years remaining on his contract, because back in the summer of 2018, Harry Kane committed his long-term future with Tottenham by signing a 6-year deal, I think worth around £200,000 a week. Yes, he did in that. Also, too, he was loaned out at quite a few clubs. Had a loan spell with Leyton Orient, Millwall, Norwich and Leicester. And he is 26 years of age, so he is still in his prime, and he is well proven in the Premier League. But hasn't won anything in terms of silverware during his Tottenham career. And he's made it clear he is unhappy under Jose Mourinho. I don't think he was unhappy, when he had Pochettino. But of course, Pochettino endured 5.5 years with Tottenham, And I think Tottenham made a mistake by getting rid of Mauricio Pochettino. Analysing the vast majority of Pochettino's tenure, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top four. But obviously, I think in the last couple of years, didn't Tottenham become title contenders under Mauricio Pochettino? But obviously, he hasn't won out in terms of silverware as Pochettino, but he still did really, really well at Tottenham. Progressed them to their first ever Champions League final last season. But, they made a mistake getting Mourinho win. Tottenham are very, very critical of Mourinho. I think the vast majority of the Tottenham fans do want Jose Mourinho out. But Tottenham can't win anything in terms of silverware this season. They can't, win the FA Cup. They're not in it. They can't win the Champions League. They're not in it. And I'm very, very sceptical that they're going to get qualification for the Champions League for next season. Very, very sceptical about that, to be quite honest with you. But there hasn't only been Man United that have been in for Harry Kane. Obviously, you've had Manchester City that have expressed their interest. Obviously, you've had Juventus that have been in for him, Real Madrid. And don't forget, Real Madrid have done business with Tottenham in the past. They got Gareth Bale off them. They got Luka Modric off them. In general, anyway, Real Madrid have recruited a hell of a lot of Premier League players in for the last 20 years or so. Real Madrid, of course, are looking to do more investment, despite the fact that they recruited around 5 or 6 players in last summer. But I think if he leaves Tottenham, he probably will end up making the move to Real Madrid. Don't forget, Tottenham have lost a few of their imperative players. Revert back to the January transfer window, they lost Christian Eriksen, who endured 7 years with them. He was a long-serving player. They lost Danny Rose. He went out on loan to Newcastle. So they have lost quite a few of their imperative players. But, Kane could, remain at Tottenham this summer and see how it plans out for next year. And obviously, if they fail to match his ambition, then he will leave. Obviously, Kane leaving, Tottenham are going to find it hard to get an adequate replacement for him. You've had the likes of Neville and Keane and Murphy and all that saying he would be a good signing for Manchester United. And a lot of people believe he would make us into title contenders if we recommended him in, to the football club. And another beneficial thing as well, don't forget, Kane knows Rashford very, very well. And also, let's mention Sancho. Us signing Sancho could actually, convince Harry Kane to come to the football club. But like I've mentioned to you, there's much cheaper solutions than him. Werner, he's a cheaper solution, £50 million for Werner. So Werner had cost us 4 times less than Kane. You've got Erling Haaland, that'd be a cheaper solution than Harry Kane. It's a shame that we didn't get Erling Haaland back in January because, like I mentioned, he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. But we have reignited our interest, to be fair. Odion Ighalo, he's a much cheaper solution. It's been revealed how much Odion Ighalo will cost us to get him on a permanent transfer. It's going to cost us around £15 million. If Odion Ighalo had been like 4 or 5 years younger, he'd have cost us probably a lot more than £15 million. But it remains uncertain at the moment, whether we're going to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. Maybe, obviously, with the links on Kane and Haaland and all of that, maybe this is delaying us, getting Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. But Odion Ighalo did recently reveal that he's not been made an offer to extend his stay yet at the football club because we've got him on loan at the moment. We're paying like a third of his wages and we paid like 3 or 4 million to get him on loan. Reportedly, Odion Ighalo's got to take around the £200,000 pay cut, to remain at the football club. Odion Ighalo's loan spell at Manchester United ends on the 31st of May. But we're likely to extend his loan till the 30th of June due to the coronavirus pandemic. Now, don't forget Shanghai Shenhua, his parent club, the other week. They came out and offered him £400,000 a week, plus a 2-year contract extension, to convince him to turn down a permanent move to Manchester United. But like I said, I think Ighalo is a very, very good cover-up for Marcus Rashford. But yeah, there's been quite a few strikers on our agenda and all of that. So now I'm going to go through with you, what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has changed at Manchester United. Now, there's quite a few things that have changed under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. I think, the personnel's changed, the tactics have changed. Also, too, a lot of players have improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Prime example, I think Rashford's done very, very well under Solskjaer. Martial's done very, very well under Solskjaer. Fred's done very, very well under Solskjaer, because he's been given his opportunities as Fred. Luke Shaw has done very, very well under Solskjaer. And obviously, we didn't get the best out of Shaw, Martial, Fred and Rashford and that under the Jose Mourinho era because, like I said to Jose Mourinho had bad disputes with the top players. And there's a few other things that's changed. Obviously, Solskjaer has recommended 5 players in so far in 3 transfer windows and spent around £220 million. And I've got to credit, the players that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has brought in so far. Another thing, that's changed is that obviously, our record against the big six sides this season has been very, very good. We've registered like 17 points against the big 6 sides this season. So, like I said, I think Solskjaer's approach to the big games have been very, very good. He showed like a lot of tactical flexibility. Against lower opposition, hasn't been so good. So that's something, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does need to improve on. And obviously, like I mentioned, before the football season that got suspended, we was in a good vein of form because we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. And like I said, in that 11-game unbeaten run, I said, didn't I? A lot of aspects of our game really, really improved. Our football looked more expansive. We was creating more chances. We was scoring more goals, and that's also, a thing that has obviously, changed. That's the thing that's changed. For the vast majority of this season, though, we've been really thriving on the counter-attack, if you have been watching Manchester United a lot throughout the course of this season. So I think, we do look better attackively. We also look better defensively. I think Harry Maguire has improved us defensively. And so there is quite a few things that have changed. Also, too, Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well. Because the young players have been given their opportunities this season. I think Mason Greenwood's done well. I think Brandon Williams has done very, very well. James Garner, he should get more opportunities going on into next season. Chong, he should get more opportunities going on into next season and that. Dalot, he should get more opportunities next season. He hasn't really played this season as Dalot due to a couple of injuries, that he's had. So there's a lot of young players in the squad that are developing and trying to improve. We have had a lot of injuries this season, so reflecting on that anyway, we've had to make rotation in the squad. Obviously, Rashford's still out injured. Martial's had a few injuries this season. Don't forget Luke Shaw was out injured earlier on in the season. Shaw was out for a good couple of months. Tuan Zebe's been out with injury. Fosu Mensah was out, obviously not injured. McTominay was injured earlier on in the season. I think Lingard injured as well. Pogba's obviously not been injured. So we've had quite a lot of injuries, to be quite honest with you. Solskjaer still doesn't know his best formation as yet, so that is an element of concern. So this is something Solskjaer does need to address. On a regular basis this season, Solskjaer has been going with that 4-2-3-1 formation. From my own perception, that formation doesn't seem to suit our standards. I think, we look more expansive with the 3-5-2 formation. I think Solskjaer went with a 4-3-3 a lot, when he was the interim manager. But, so he needs to, work out, his best formation at the football club. And Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood, so that's also, another positive you can take. Obviously, a total of 9 players have left since his arrival and that. So quite a few things have changed. And Solskjaer was talking, about how he had to overhaul Manchester United when he replaced Jose Mourinho back in December 2018 and that. But you've got to say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team, like I've said before, because the vast majority of these players are not Solskjaer's. The vast majority of these players are Jose Mourinho's, because Jose Mourinho recommended 11 players into the football club. Now Solskjaer is inheriting the vast majority of them. And the main explanations why it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho, Jose Mourinho endured 2.5 years at Manchester United. But it didn't work out is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players, and the board weren't, backing the signings that I wanted to recommend in to the football club. Solskjaer's obviously, still inheriting players here from the Louis van Gaal era. I think there's on him like Marshall and Shaw and that here now from the Louis van Gaal era. Let's put into the equation Louis van Gaal recruited a hell of a lot of players in. I think he also got rid of a good 20 odd players. He got rid of a lot of the players that we did have under the Alex Ferguson era, did Louis van Gaal. Obviously, there's still one matter here from the David Moyes era. I think there's only a couple of players here now from the Alex Ferguson era. So he's still in the process of rebuilding. But I like what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said recently. Obviously, he says we will exploit the transfer market, when the transfer market does reopen. Because, teams are going to have to offload their players because a lot of teams across the world are under financial pressure due to this coronavirus pandemic. And, Solskjaer believes that Man United need around 4 signings in, the summer, if we are to become title contenders next season. But I've got to say, another thing that's changed, we have improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. What I mean is we have been a bit more sensible with our recruitment, to be fair. Because, over the years, our recruitment policy has been very, very poor. But in the last 6 or 7 years, we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era and spent close to the £1 billion range. So Man United have spent a hell of a lot of money. Let's be honest, we have spent a hell of a lot of money. But Solskjaer, like I said, has identified the areas where he wants to strengthen up. He wants a centre forward, he wants a right winger, and he wants a central midfielder, or should I say, a holding midfielder. And Solskjaer still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young players to Manchester United like he did do last summer. But so far, like I mentioned, Solskjaer spent around £220 million at Manchester United. That's how much he has spent at the football club. But I give you the good news, didn't I, yesterday? Ed Woodward is no longer involved in our recruitment process. That's obviously very, very good news. And it's the best news I've heard since Alex Ferguson's retirement back in 2013. That was the only bad news on Ferguson, that he had to retire back in 2013. Obviously, Ed Woodward has been this is now his 8th season at the football club. Obviously, he's got no intentions now of appointing a director of footballing because Ferguson is behind our thinking. And don't forget, we've been in search for the director of football since the Jose Mourinho era. And last summer, there was quite a few former Manchester United players linked with that role. But we've been very, very critical of Ed Woodward. Obviously, he's been criticised for his poor selection of managers and quite a lot of players he's brought in over the years. Obviously, we've had doubts about the club's ownership as well, the Glazers. They've been here since 2005. So, yeah. And obviously, on my next videos, I may be talking with you a bit more about Jack Grealish. Obviously, yesterday I kept you up to date of what was going on with Paul Pogba and that, and Jude Bellingham. So, yeah. So, anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always.